Hey guys, welcome. Of course, as always, welcome home, welcome back, welcome aboard, wherever you are in relation to this channel this week, these messages, all those things we do up in here. So this is the weekly What's Up for the 8th of November through the 14th of November, 2021. We are coming off of a wonderful Scorpio new moon. We are leading into a super powerful lunar eclipse full moon in Taurus. Not this week, but next. So we're kind of between those two big events. And this week has what I would like to call a tight feel to it. So let's just get right into it. We start off with, remember now that Venus has moved into Capricorn, and she's going to be there until March with her retrograde season and all that fun stuff. So that's a whole nother topic, right? And Mars is in Scorpio. So we've got the moon also in Capricorn at the beginning of this week. And so the moon moves right past Mars and Chiron, Uranus, and the Sun. And so with Venus in Capricorn, right, we can put up with no nonsense, right, because it's Venus in Capricorn. There's just no, it doesn't work. Those two energies are incongruent for nonsense when it comes to what you're manifesting, what you're doing, how you're showing up in the world. And with Scorpio Mars, right, there's a fearless requirement in that energy. So on Monday, there is a chance that you're feeling a little exacting, right? A little over possessive, perhaps even suspicious of things that are happening, whether for you or in the world, right? So as the moon trines Uranus, though, that's a little bit of an easement, right? A fallback to that new moon we just had, offering you space to readjust, to reconfigure if you need to, right? To adjust your trajectory, which is always super important. On Tuesday, again, we have a day of moon movement, right? Sextiling Neptune, and then conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn, always exciting, before moving into Aquarius, right? So the thing that I kind of mentioned about this week being tight, right? There's a lot of Mercury and Mars and Saturn big aspects this week. So what I really want to talk about is that energy, right? And on Tuesday, as the moon conjuncts Pluto, right, this is like a depth chart, right? We talked about readjusting your trajectory. Really, again, as the moon conjuncts Pluto, you have the opportunity to really be mindful and in awareness of what is shaking loose for you, right? Pluto is all about transformation and that which lies beneath. So allow yourself to be in awareness of those things that need to come up, that need to perhaps be adjusted or at least recognized, unearthed, so that you can move forward in your intentions from that new moon. And as the moon moves into Aquarius overnight, right, you might feel the last of those moorings kind of shake up, which is a beautiful thing. On Wednesday, look, if you have the option to not engage on Wednesday, I highly recommend it. There's so much happening with the moon conjunct Mars and Uranus and the moon, and there is a ton of stuff going on. I mean, we can go through them one by one, but the key is that Mercury conjuncts Mars, and then the moon squares them both, and then the moon conjuncts Saturn, and Mercury squares Saturn. And honestly, on a day when I can say that the easement is from the moon sextiling Chiron, right? Yeah, just be mindful. Hold on to the places where you've done the work. Hold on to your healing, right? Stay in your lane. And if you can on Wednesday, just kind of like be mindful of what you're saying and what you're putting out into the world. Like those are really, really important things to be mindful of on Wednesday. Keep your highest good at the forefront of everything you say and everything you do. Now, this is a great way to live your life, but on Wednesday, it's going to be really, really critical, especially with Mercury in Scorpio and Mars in Scorpio, right? There is a possibility for some beautiful, deep, profound revelations and healings. There's also a possibility for some unfounded explosions or sudden revelations, right? Because late in the day, right, the moon squares Uranus. Don't be surprised by anything you witness or hear on Wednesday. The other thing I'd really like to bring up about Wednesday is that we have all of this Scorpio energy, right? We have all of this. I see you in there. Saturn, wow. See, in every, there's so much opportunity this week. Just kind of be mindful, right, of your energetic and what you're really putting out. On Thursday, the moon squares the sun. Always exciting, right? And then, Mercury is in conjunct Chiron, asking us about our feelings, right? What are we actually saying? What are we calling into being? And how are we calling those things into being? Again, I say, watch your mouth, right? And if you're called to speak, lead with compassion. There's no need to pop your mouth off, right? See, love is everything. I mean, it really is. So there's no need to be ugly, even in claiming your deepest truth. You can still lead with compassion, especially as the moon moves into Pisces midday, really allowing you to create that better felt than spoken. You can work magic as long as you're willing to be in line with what you're feeling and who you are, right? And being aware of how your experiences contrast to how you feel as the moon also conjuncts Jupiter, right? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? How can you create from your feelings? On Friday, there's a lot going on Friday as well. The keys on Friday, the sun trines Neptune. Neptune, of course, still being retrograde for another 3 weeks. And that Scorpio Mars is in conjunct Chiron. So this is about feelings again, right? Not your brain, right? It's how you're going to experience your feelings, right? The moon is sextile that Venus in Capricorn. So it's about the practical nature of your feelings. What are we creating with them? How are we doing that magic? And not allowing ourselves to fall back into our old patterns of action or speech. Holding your new narrative, right? That moon trining Mercury and Mars is a big deal that day, a big deal. On Saturday, again, Mercury is in opposition to Uranus. Changing your language, right? Allowing your narrative to shift, allowing your expression to shift in a way, right, that allows you to bring depth and breadth to your experience. The moon is going to conjunct Neptune, right? Creating. Neptune, of course, still retrograde. So there's a reality to your feelings, right? It's real and you feel it. So be aligned to the reality of what you're creating. There's no hiding. There's no avoiding, right? It is a depth charge day again, as the moon is in conjunct Pluto at the end of the day. So there's no nonsense, right? It's real and it's there. And then on Sunday, and not a bunch goes on, the moon moves into Aries, and then sextiles Saturn. So it's about how can we create something. Let me rephrase that. It's about what are we creating, and are we creating something positive or something negative with that expression, which is a big deal, right? And we're coming up into some more big changes, right? We've got that lunar eclipse, full moon on the 19th at 27 Taurus. And then the sun is going to move into Sagittarius. Sagittarius season will feel very different from Scorpio season. And almost immediately on next week, right, we're going to have those big shifts and changes. So this week is about more of that getting right with it, getting right with it. Even though we have a lot of Mercury and a lot of Mars, it's really going to be laying the groundwork, creating with your narrative, creating with your story that which you are able to move into, right? If you don't claim it, you can't be in it. You can't manifest it. You can't step in as the expression of. So claiming it is really a powerful first step here. So we're talking about Monday, right? This is the day that we're talking about the moon trining Uranus, right? Following up that new moon. So definitely working into readjustment. We've got the Hierophant and the Nine of Wands. So this is about what am I standing for and how am I defending it, right? Is this what I want to be defending, right? The Hierophant too. In standard decks, you always see the Hierophant as coming with a beautiful set of golden keys. Here, they're the beautiful headdress. So this is about having the key, right? I have the key. I know what I believe. I know what I'm doing. The Hierophant is about foundation of your beliefs. Are you really in alignment with your beliefs, or are you grabbing other beliefs? Have you just like capitulated to what you've heard, to what you've been told? What are you defending? What are you defending? And are you tired of defending it, right? Is it worthwhile? And if not, then it's time to put it down. On Tuesday, right, we talked about this day as being that depth charge day, right? What needs to come up as the moon conjuncts Pluto before the moon moves into Aquarius? We've got the Fool and the Hanged Man. Both of these are cards of faith, right? We have faith here echoed in the Hierophant as well. So this is about trusting your journey, and this is about understanding that sometimes we are waiting, right? We are suspended. We are not in motion. So there's an element here of trusting the journey and trusting the timing, right? So in the way that we are allowing things to shake up, especially in this week as we're allowing Mercury and Mars to really create our story, how can we really trust the journey? How can we really trust that everything we have is going to be provided? It's a lot of majors. It's a lot of divine energy here. So really just falling back to that space of alignment, 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 always with where you know what you're going, or where you know where you're going and when, right? Trusting the timing. On Wednesday, right? This is the day we talked about just kind of hang out, right? Just if you can wait, just wait, because there's going to be a lot going on Wednesday. holding on to your healing, your words of healing. So the Wheel of Fortune is all about time moving forward, right? Which time always moves forward. And we know this. I find it amusing that we have a little Taurus and a little Aquarius here, in addition to the rest of our symbols. I love this deck, by the way. It was brought back for me. My sweet friend Shannon Tammy brought it back from Salem, Massachusetts. It's absolutely gorgeous deck. The artwork is stunning, just stunning. Anyway, the wheel is about always motion, right? Nothing stays the same. We're always shifting and changing, right? Heraclitus had that to say, you know, everything is changed. Nothing stays the same. You can't step in the same river twice. Absolutely, you can't. You can't step in the same river twice. And so trying to really think that you have the final answer is crazy. What are you defending here, right? Well, that's always the journey of faith, right? What am I defending? Page of Pentacles says maybe there's a new way. Maybe there's a different way, right? He's holding this pentacle in his hand, which might be a little mini wheel. Just knowing that the way that we're moving, right, is always taking us forward, always taking us forward. We can't stay in any one place, especially with this Mercury and Mars energy that we're dealing with this week. There's so much opportunity to shift, and it doesn't have to be big giant shifts, right? When we're talking about adjusting our trajectory, a tiny adjustment can make a giant difference over time. So it's small things, right? Small things make the big difference. And you're always in that shift and change, always. So where you are, the Hanged Man says, guess what? You might be suspended right now, but don't count on it staying that way, because things always change. We move forward in ways we might not have expected, but we're always taken care of, right? That Page of Pentacles is here to offer you a new way. And with all of these opportunities, right? Mercury conjunct Mars, the moon conjunct Saturn, everybody's squaring up. How do you want to move forward? Well, I mean, that's entirely up to you, as always. So you speak it, so you shall become. It's really not just a happy little phrase of abracadabra. It's a reality, right? You speak it and it becomes. You feel it and it manifests. That's how this works, right? On Thursday, we're talking about Mercury in conjunct Chiron. We're talking about the moon conjunct Jupiter. So how our expression is a function of our healing, how our feelings allow us to create something new. And then late, the moon moves into Pisces, offering us a really, really deeper way to feel. So as we're watching our words carefully here, as we're watching that, what we're conjuring, so that we don't have to banish it later, this is really just about being in your feelings. And here's the thing. The Five of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold, feeling perhaps, right, Mercury in conjunct Chiron, feeling that we're expressing ourselves in a way that is more about our need to heal, as opposed to calling in our healed self. And perhaps calling in your healed self is as easy as having this opportunity to change your story, right? Swords are communication, ideas. Swords are how we express ourselves. Here's a brand new way to witness this, whatever this is that you're feeling, however you're feeling left out, however you're feeling a loss, a wounding, something that is something that was taken from you. How can you switch that narrative up and change that story, right? So your resistance, right? Your resistance could be the problem. And by problem, I simply mean the choice of your perspective in the story. Sometimes by changing the narrative, changing that trajectory, right? Everything becomes different. We have a different ending possible where we're not feeling left out in the cold, simply by changing our narrative, our story, our expression about it. It could be that simple, right? On Friday, we're talking about not falling into old patterns, not not falling back into an old narrative, to really be in what we're doing. So we're following an ace with an ace. This is the Nine of Cups. This is wish fulfillment, right? What you're speaking becomes the Ace of Pentacles, that new opportunity as a new way to create your own fulfillment, right? Nine of Cups is your personal emotional fulfillment, outside of a group or anything like that. This is you creating your own happiness simply by adjusting your story. And on Friday, right, we have the Sun trining Neptune. I am my reality, right? I see that I am my reality. I witness that. I claim that. And then Mars in conjunct Chiron. I refuse to fall back into my old emotional patterns. I see this new way and I'm going to manifest it, right? By simply holding the narrative. And then on Saturday, right, we talked about Mercury being opposed to Uranus. Look, whatever story you're walking away from, allow it to be your point of transformation, right? This is about walking away from something that is not emotionally fulfilling, regardless of the circumstance, right? It's usually indicative of making a choice to honor yourself, to honor a truth. Well, we have a lot of that, right, in the preceding days here. So whatever's going to bring you transformation, simply by walking away, simply by releasing something, right? We have Mercury opposed to Uranus. It might shake you up. It might be jolting and jarring and sudden. It might be something that comes out of the blue and allows you to be in awareness that whatever it is has to be left behind. That depth charge, right? Because late in the night, that Pisces moon is going to be in conjunct Pluto. No, sextile. Giving you the opportunity to dig it up, to look at it, to walk away from it, to leave it there. No hiding, no avoiding, just walking away, right? We're not hauling it around. This is not hauling it around. This isn't, by the way, the same as the Fool's Journey. This is, I'm walking away from something that is hurtful to me. And I'm moving into an energy that will bring me something new, that will allow me the opportunity to transform, to rise from the ashes and create something new from something that was absolutely unfulfilling. And then on Sunday, right, the moon moves into Aries. And then that Aries moon late sextile Saturn. So look, we have an Aries moon, right? We're moving. Our feelings are moving. They're in motion, right? All of this work we've done this week and whatever it is we're walking away from, we've put it into motion. And the Magician says, yeah, absolutely. So now what are you going to do? What are you going to do with what you've learned? What are you going to do with how you feel? What are you going to do with this new awareness? All of these new awarenesses, all of this divine energy that's been gifted to you this week. What are you going to do with it, right? How are you going to claim your transformation? How are you going to step in to the new identity that you have, right? Next week, we have a Sun squaring Jupiter, and that's going to ask you, how deep can you go? How big can you be? How much union can you handle, right? Set yourself up for success by really calling in your emotional power, because all of this early week asks you to step into that place of availability for your own heart's desire, right? Your own wish fulfillment, your own opportunities. We've got love is everything. Look, love is always everything, right? This isn't a brand new thing for this week. We're always coming back to the love. And with Venus and Capricorn, it's really about your function, right? This is about how are you defending? Where are you going? What are you willing to bring with you? What do you need to let go of? What's your vision? What's your creation? And what are you willing to release so that you can get there? And guess what? When you get there, you have all that power. You have the power of creation, the power of destruction, the power of emotional fulfillment, the power of your motivation, the power of your passions. You have all that. at your disposal. I think this is a beautiful little card for us this week. Flexible, right? So that is definitely something that we're being asked to be. And I like that we've got this Humpty Dumpty, right, that we're being flexible on, right? We've got that cosmic egg idea. We have all of this divinity, this creation potential, right? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You're safe. You're safe. But are you moving, right? Flexible talks about teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important, right? Being adaptable without compromising what's most important, right? Always being mindful of your presence, your embodiment as love. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around you may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So, right? When you know, you know. When you know what's coming, right, which is big things. Look at all these majors. Look at all this divine energy coming towards us this week. Big deal. And I want to say, because I see everywhere, you know, the doom and gloom, I hear other astrologers trying to say, oh, this will be horrible. Why would you preload that? Why would you preload it? Preload the best possible outcome. Preload yourself as flexible. Preload your journey of faith, moving from those places that are hard to navigate, hard to defend. Let them go and be okay with letting them go, because knowing that something better is coming. And sure, change can feel a little scary and unsettling, but you've got plenty of motion, plenty of opportunity, and plenty of divine input and support holding you up. So just stay flexible, because guess what? That's all you got to do. Stay in the love. Big blessings, guys. We got a lot going on this week and next week. So please just mind your language, mind your self-talk, and mind your rooting and your anchoring. And just stay blessed, right? Talk to you next week.